Hey YouTube! Today we are going to be talking about something that so many people, when they come across other writers, ask profusely because they are eager to learn, they're eager to jump right in, and their little hearts flutter when they think about writing, whether that fiction novel, that non-fiction novel, that poetry book, the anthology they want to be a part of short stories, the songwriting, who knows? There are so many creative writing outlets, and the question is always the same. How do I start writing? How? Well, I'm gonna tell you how to start writing in 5 steps. Are you ready? You ready? Let's do this. Now, by no means am I an expert, and honestly, I pretty much jacked these from Felicia Day, because if you look up Felicia Day, how to start writing, she has a really great video. Now, she wrote a book, she's an author, but she's also a really huge gamer on YouTube. So she kind of used loose gaming analogies to kind of give her 5-step tips towards how to start writing. So I will be removing the gaming aspect of it and kind of just telling you guys within those 5 steps, especially from my experience, how to help you start writing. So let's do this. Step number 1, learn and research. Or research and then learn, because you'll learn after researching. Yeah, research and learn. When I was a noob at this whole writing thing, now granted I'm still a noob, will always be a noob in one sense or another, but honestly, when I finally made the decision to say I'm going to write a book, how the hell do I do that? How the hell do I start that? Yeah. So the first thing that needed to be done was I needed to research. And through the research, I needed to learn. I needed to learn about the process. I needed to learn the rules. I needed to learn the terminology. I needed to understand just all the foundational steps towards trying to write a book, period. I was suggested some really great writer books from a few authors that I had the opportunity to get advice from. And some of them are, for example, this one's a big one, Plot and Structure by James Scott Bell. So many authors would recommend this book, so definitely I would pick this up. You can go to your local library, check it out for free, so you don't have to buy it until you can, which is what I did at first, and then I was able to purchase it myself. So there you go. Here's one. Another recommended, highly recommended book was Writing the Breakout Novel Workbook. So I believe there's the book and then there's the workbook, which is exactly what I have here. So this was actually very interesting. It has exercises and writing prompts and things for you to kind of put in as you're learning aspects to novel writing. So that was very helpful. In addition to writer books, I also decided to search authors. There are tons of authors who happily have blogged their writing process. So I started searching for those. I looked up authors that I genuinely liked at the time and whose books I really enjoyed, and I was kind of intrigued to see what their writing process was, and it took a couple of years of a lot of research, a lot of trial and error. I started to understand more, even the simple basic terminology of writing that totally went over my head before because I just had never delved into that. So do your research, look up these things. It's going to benefit you in the end and only help you feel more confident as you tackle your story. Step number 2, daily writing prompts. This is a good tip because just like with anything, practice makes perfect. And the only way you're gonna work out a muscle is by actually working it out. Same thing with writing. Writing, you're working that brain creative muscle of yours. Yeah, to think I write. Write every day, schedule it. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, schedule those 10 minutes and make sure you write. If you don't know what to write, again, why don't you look up writing prompts? Melody had actually showed me this awesome book here, 300 writing prompts. If you go to Barnes & Nobles, they have tons of them, and they have different types. They have 500 writing prompts. They have themed writing prompts. There's so many different things, and they're really simple random questions. They're just little writing prompts to kind of get you exercising your little writing muscles. Chugga, 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 chugga. Write every day. Step number 3. That's not a 3. See, there's this, which I think is the sign language 3, and then there's this, but then this actually is a letter, I think, in sign language. So I was meet other writers. This could range from all the way to meeting other authors that are actually published or writing buddies that you find online. The point is, get together with like-minded people who can help you, give you advice, remind you it's not just you and it's not all in your head and you're not completely insane. You're gonna feel like you are, but you're not alone, so there's gotta be something to it, right? Meet authors, have writing friends. Step number 4. It's time to ask yourself, what kind of writer am I? What kind of writer do I want to be? This usually would have a lot to do with what you're reading. What do you gravitate towards when you read? Do you gravitate towards young adult? Do you gravitate towards the new adult genre? Do you gravitate towards adult romance or thriller or sci-fi or horror? What is it that you enjoy, and what stories do you feel you'd have the best voice to emulate? The reason it's good to ask yourself this ahead of time as you are about to tackle writing, especially your first story. Granted, you're not going to stay within one genre in your entire writing career, but especially in the beginning, right before you're going to establish yourself, you need to ask yourself, where do I fit in? Within the large community of writers and books and readers, the entire bookish audience, where right now do I fit in? Because those are the people you're going to want to connect with. These are the people you want to get to know. These are the people you want to reach out to when you need beta readers. This is the audience that you first need to market yourself towards. So it's time to figure out what style comes naturally to me. And step number 5. This is yet the easiest and hardest step of them all, but the most important. Set the goal and do it. That's it. Once you've done all the legwork, you're ready to do this, you're really serious about pursuing this, about pursuing being a writer, and you have figured out, you've researched, you've come to learn more about the process of writing, the writing world, the publishing world. You've been writing daily, setting those goals, doing those writer prompts. You've gone out and you've met other authors, whether it be in person or online. You've really figured out what comes naturally to you and what genres you're interested in tackling first as a writer. Once all of this has been done, you're gonna feel more confident and ready to move forward. That is when it's time to set the goal and do it. And it has to be every day, even if it's in small steps. All of our schedules are different. There are parents out there, there are mothers and fathers who work full time but are still pursuing writing. A lot of them are even successful published authors. They just make the time for it. They're diligent about it and they really want it. It's what they want to do. It's what makes their heart happy. It's their dream. So it's time to stop daydreaming and it's time to start working your ass off to make it happen, because it is work. As glorious as it sounds to be in pajama pants, maybe no pants at all, have your hair up if you're a female, no makeup, no contacts, just looking like you rolled out of bed because you literally rolled out of bed. That sounds great. It even sounds lazy to some people. Oh, but it is not. Writing is hard work. Your poor brain will go through all sorts of emotional up and downs. But as with anything that's worth fighting for, it's gonna take work. It's gonna take time, and you can't give up. So set a goal. It can be an hour a day every morning or an hour a day every night before bed. It can be 10 pages. It can be 10 words. If you write 10 words a day, you're still doing something. The point is to finish. And once you finish, it will be one of the most beautiful moments of your life. Really, when I finished my first draft, I literally cried. It was such a beautiful feeling. It was like I carried a baby for 9 months and boop, there it is. And it hurt and it sucked and I cursed and I screamed and I said, but once it was over, it was the most magical feeling in the world. Or so I'm told, because I've never given birth. So no more excuses. Get to it and start writing that book. Write that book, I said. Write it. So there it is, 5 simple steps on how to start writing. If you like this video, as always, we just ask. There's a little thumb below. It might be there. It might be here. It's the one that's pointing up. Click it. Click, click, clickety, click. Also, if you're not subscribed, hey, hi, welcome. Hello. Hit that subscribe-y button. Don't forget to check out our shop, coffeereadingwriting.com. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time with more randomness. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. It's not here yet. Would you think I'm weird if I wear this on my head the entire time? For no reason. Just wearing it. I don't mention it. We pretend it's not even it. Okay. Well, the verdict's out on that one, apparently.